I'm Paula Wallace, president and founder of the Savannah College of Art and Design, known around the world as SCAD, the University for Creative Careers. For over 4 decades, SCAD students have found inspiration and mentorship from the leading creative voices that visit our university. I find joy in sharing these interviews with some of the most prominent makers, thinkers, auteurs, and inventors of our time in a program we call On Creativity. This is SCADcast. You've had a storied career. Talk about your work a little bit. It all works together beautifully. Refinery 29 is such a juggernaut, so how do you quality control?
It's a juggernaut?
Yes.
I love to be wrong. I mean, many things get pitched to me and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna work, but prove me wrong.
I do feel I've sort of tumbled through life, and I think it's the best way to be because you don't disappoint yourself. All I wanted to do is to have fun and do interesting work and do some good in the world.
Designing for the handmaids, that artistic impulse, it's something I can't touch, that descends through me to the clothing.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the intersection of math and science and the arts.
I'm reading books about theoretical physics or wormholes or black holes, but I'm also reading about Archimbaldo, Rauschenberg, whoever. I just don't differentiate these things. I think one informs the other. The art is the gateway drug, and the whole thing is a performance. And the artwork is like, it's almost like a magic trick. It's like, fall in love with the artwork and then no. Don't even like move your gaze over here, because we're trying to do something much bigger.
It's hard to be casual about something that you care about.
You can't be, I don't know how to be that.
I'm a color person.
What are your favorite combinations?
Soft pineapple yellow, soft pink with chocolate brown, soft pink with navy blue.
You know, things in life, you have to just trust your instincts and go with it.
Well, that's what's so important, is the story behind everything and why you selected certain things or what it meant to you at that time.
Clothes can make you feel very, very confident.
And they convey your identity to a certain point too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's so great to have you here at SCAD Animation Fest.
For me, it's all about character. And so I start giving a story in my head of what kind of voice he's gonna have, and then I take that voice and I go through the different emotions. Yeah, you know, I mean, you can go low, then you just start going a little higher, and then, you know, my normal voice is something that I use quite often, and then I just kind of age it up a little bit if I'm gonna be younger, and then, you know, it just keeps getting a little younger, and then if I'm maybe a girl, I might have like a little softness to the voice, and then I keep going and I'm like a baby. You know, that kind of stuff.
I feel like you're a wizard.
So we just released the Bee and the Acorn audiobook starring you. What do you think is behind the resurgence of audio-first performance formats?
Through history, stories were told verbally.
Around the campfire.
Exactly.
Or listening to a radio.
The story comes to life when you hear the differences of each character. People love stories. They love being told tales of woe and wonder and love.
I feel that really my story is everybody's story here. You know, there are challenges in life, and you know, you appreciate the mountaintops maybe because you've been through the valleys. Well, Jarrell, what a trajectory your career is on. Multidimensionality and the ability to change and to be different people in different circumstances.
It's therapeutic to me. It allows you to get away and fight those fears. I'm finding who I am through my work, and I'm finding who I am through what I really love to do. And not a lot of people get to go to work and love what they do.
Yeah, that's exactly what parents want for their students, that one day they'll have a career where they enjoy what they're doing.
No matter what it is.
You know, that's right. They wake up every day and they look forward to going to work because it's something that they love doing. And
yes.
So that's what SCAD's all about. Alan, to what do you attribute this long partnership with Bob Zemeckis?
I think we're musical colleagues
in
some way, and there's something about the rhythm of cinema that we just instinctively feel in the same way. And we share that, right.
We're so delighted to be honoring your luminous and legendary career that's had such an impact on so many lives.
Another thing I've kind of started to feel directly is where one has to go as a composer in oneself in order to find the notes. You'll never know if they're the right notes unless you are really experiencing
what the character is experiencing. Olivia, thank you so much for being here at the SCAD Savannah Film Festival
Thank
once
you for
again.
having me again. What a joy. You have supported me as an actress, a producer, and then to come back as a director feels like this full circle experience framed by SCAD.
Tell me about your first directorship.
People kept saying to me, "Oh, you're gonna direct a movie. Prepare to have your heart broken." I was so happy every second of every day. It is a truly humbling experience to have artists do their best to understand what's in your imagination and bring it to life.
Art, as a designer and an architect, what made you decide that you wanted to also have your own business?
I wish I could tell you that I had a plan, but I didn't. I use the phrase unanticipated opportunities, serendipity.
And you've had a lot of those.
I've had a lot of those. I was 30 when we started Gensler, and we started with $200 in our pocket, and that was it. I don't know whether you had 200, but
I started with selling a Volkswagen.
So we weren't any better.
What do you mean by designing from the inside out?
The world only needs so many what I call look-at-me buildings. Buildings and spaces and interiors are for use rather than trying to create something and then stuff the solution in the wrapper.
So important.
We're in the service business, solving client problems using the power of design.
This brand 31 Philip Lin, I was coming to New York to visit a friend who's my business partner now, Wen Zhao.
And when you were 31
Yeah, I was 31
old,
and it was not even my intention to start this. Let's just make clothes with quality, intention, creativity, and try to put it in a place where it is communicated in a larger platform.
Your clothes are very fine though, all the details, all the thoughtfulness.
And I love that you say that. The fabric investigation, the questions, you have to now dig down deeper and deeper, thinking about social inclusion and diversity becomes part of this process. Everything is about balance. It's really taking the idea of commerce and change it into communication.
That is such a gift and so important, what you're doing really for other people.
That's the evolution of this role and how that plays into the process of creating a dream.
Creating a dream, I love it. Yeah, that's what we do at SCAD too.
Define Arts is such a important moment for students. I tell people SCAD was my photo arsenal, like I just stacked up all of these skills.
Time Instagram Photographer of the Year. What an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you. It's been like a whirlwind. Like one day I had 6,000 followers, and then I had 10, and then I had 30, and now it's 50. So it's been this snowballing thing.
You have a very complicated role because you're a caregiver and you're a daughter and you're a documentarian. How do you balance all of that?
Yeah, it's really that I was a caregiver and I was exhausted. And I needed to find a way to make being in this situation kind of worth it for myself. People can describe the relationship with mentally ill people as like drowning, like you swim out, you want to help them, but then both people wind up going down together. And so I needed to figure out a way to not go down. And so what I found was that if I could bring my camera home and put that in front of my face, it started to facilitate a different relationship.
You're continuing to touch so many lives. Dwayne, we're so delighted to have your narrative portraiture at SCAD Museum of Art. You really take viewers on a journey.
It's like the pages of a book, you know, each work is like its own encapsulated thing, but it's a part of a larger narrative. The potential of every single one of these pieces and as an amalgam is important because then you leave with that story. And that's what I love about exhibitions is that I can enter them and I feel transformed.
Welcome, Terry Dressback. This is a match made in heaven with SCAD and Outlander. I think sometimes people imagine that the costume designer has weeks and months to study the script.
We do not. Every single time I do a garment, I have to go, where did it come from? Where did they get this? You can't buy 18th century embroidered fabric. How are we going to do that? The melting pot, when these cultures come together, when they see their similarities rather than their differences. And that's
what the world could use more of.
The world can use more of that.
Common ground.
Common ground. And that was one of the most exciting things, was seeing the cross-pollination and then bringing it into our characters. It crosses time, it crosses culture. It's just a fascinating thing about this show.
Thank you for joining us on SCADcast and on creativity. Yay!
Yay!
I can't wait to see you again, Olivia.
Yes, I have to keep making movies just to give me an excuse to come back.
Yes. You've done it all, Carlton. So what's next?
Maybe I'll just become a rock star.